Okay, students, this is going to be interest problems, the fourth video in this series. And first, I'm giving you some notes. Interest is money paid for use of money. So when you take out a bank account, when you open up a bank account, you put your money in the bank to keep it safe, and the bank pays you interest. Because what happens is the bank uses your money and the bank invests that to make the bank money. So since the bank is using your money, they're paying you interest. So that's what interest is. It's money paid for the use of money. Now, when you take out a loan, let's say you want to purchase something and you don't have the cash for it, the interest is the money the bank charges you to use the bank's money. So if you want to buy a car, let's say the car is worth $20,000 and you don't have $20,000 in the bank, you can take out a loan for $20,000. So the bank gives you a $20,000 check to give to the person selling you the car. But then you have to pay the bank back that $20,000 that you borrowed plus more, and that money you pay is called interest. So interest works for you when you have a bank account, and interest works against you when you're taking out a loan. And we've been using interest formula number 1 this week here for these previous lessons. And we want to practice some more of these interest problems together. But these are good notes that you want to have for this business and finance section that we're working on. So problem number 1, you get a student loan from the New Mexico Education Assistance Foundation to pay for your educational expenses this year. Find the interest on the loan if you borrowed $2,000. So the principal, the money you borrowed, is $2,000. The interest rate R, they say, is 8%. So we're going to convert that into a decimal. So that's going to be 0.08. And the time in years, here they say the loan is for 1 year. And when you're calculating loans, you always make your n value 1. So we're going to plug into our interest formula, A equals P parentheses 1 plus R over N raised to the N times T power. So here for our question, we're going to plug in these different values. So we have the principal, that's the $2,000 you borrowed, parentheses 1 plus R over N, 1 plus 0.08 over 1, raised to the N times T power. Well, N is 1 for a loan, and this one says the time is 1. Remember, the time is always per year unless they tell you otherwise. So if they don't give you years, if they give you months, you have to convert that to years to get your answer. So here we're going to plug in this expression into our calculator, and we need to try to figure out how much the interest is that you're paying the bank. So here we have on our calculator $2,160. Now, that's not the interest that you pay. Remember, the interest is the extra money. It's the extra money that you pay if you're taking out a loan. It's the extra money that you make if you have a bank account. So you borrowed $2,000. You ended up paying $2,160. So that means you paid $160 extra. So that means the interest is $160. See, the formula that we've been using, the way we calculate the amount of interest for a loan, is we take the balance minus the principal. You take how much money you borrowed and subtract that from how much you paid. So you ended up paying $160 extra. Problem 2, you are starting your small business in Albuquerque. You borrow $10,000 from the bank at 9% interest for 5 years. Find the interest that you're paying for this loan. So again, we're finding the interest. We're trying to figure out how much extra money you're paying. So let's write out our interest formula. A equals P parentheses 1 plus R over N raised to the N times T power. Here our principal, that's going to be $10,000. The interest rate R, that's 9%. So when I convert that to a decimal, that's going to be 0.09. N, when you're calculating a loan, is always 1. So that's a good thing to write in your notes. When you're calculating a loan payment, N is always 1. And T is going to be the time in years for the loan, which in this case is 5. So we're going to go on our calculator, 10,000, parentheses 1 plus 0.09 over 1 raised to the 1 times 5 power. And this is going to give you the total amount that you pay back. This is not going to give you the interest, it's going to give you the total amount. So take a minute, enter this expression into your calculator. So here it says we're going to be paying back $15,386, and this 9 is going to kick the 23 cents up to 24 cents. So that's the total amount that you're paying back. But the question is not asking you that. The question is asking you for the interest. So remember, the interest equals the balance minus the principal. It's how much you're paying back, $15,386.24, minus how much you borrowed, which was the $10,000. So here the amount of interest you're paying is $5,386.24. So remember, the interest is the extra money that you get when it's a bank account, and it's the extra money that you pay when you're taking out a loan. You are tired at the end of the term and decide to borrow $500 to go on a trip. You go to the bank and borrow the money at 11% over 2 years. Find the interest you will pay on the loan and how much will you pay the bank back after the 2 years. So let's write out our interest formula. A equals P parentheses 1 plus R over N raised to the N times T power. Here the principal, the money we're borrowing, is $500. The interest rate R is 11%. So I'm going to move the decimal point 2 places to the left, so it's 0.11. Here we're borrowing, so we're taking out a loan, so our N value is going to be 1. And T is the time in years, so in this case it says 2 years. So let's plug those values back into our interest formula. The principal, which is 500, times 1 plus R, which is 0.11 over N, which is 1, raised to the N times T, 1 times 2 power. Now remember, when we do this on our calculator, this is actually going to give us the answer to part B. This is going to give us the answer to how much money you paid back after the 2 years. We're going to have to do our subtraction to get our interest. But let's do part B first by evaluating this on our calculator. So the answer to part B, how much will you pay back at the end of the 2 years? Here you're paying back $616.05. Find the interest that you will pay. Well, remember, the interest, that equals the balance minus the principal. It's how much you pay back, the $616.05, minus how much you borrowed, which was $500. So if you subtract those two values, that'll give you the amount of interest that you pay back. So here in interest, you're paying back $116.05. So the total you're paying back, $616.05, but the extra, the amount of interest, is $116.05. Now let's go through what our last video went over with you, which is how much your monthly payment is going to be. Find the interest on a loan of $2,500 that is borrowed at 9% for 7 months. So we have to first calculate the interest. How much would it cost to repay the entire loan? So we want to know how much in total we're paying back. And then part C, what is the monthly payment going to be for this loan? So let's go through our process. First, we're going to write out our interest formula. A equals P parentheses 1 plus R over N raised to the N times T power. The principal is $2,500. The interest rate R is 9%. So when we move the decimal point, it's going to be 0.09. It's a loan, so N is always going to be 1. But now, here's the question. Our time, the time has to be in years. Well, here they don't give you years. They give you months. So let's look back at the notes that we were given. If the time is given in months, T can be found by using the ratio, the number of months over 12. So here, they say it's for 7 months. So the time is going to be 7 over 12 because the time has to be in years. So basically 7 months is 7/12 of a year. So this is important. It's good to add into your notes. If the time is given in months, the way you figure out T is you take the number of months over 12. So let's try to figure out our answer to part B. How much would it cost to repay the entire loan? How much you're paying in total? So we're going to go the principal, $2,500, times 1 plus R over N, 1 plus 0.09 over 1, raised to the 1 times 7/12 power, because our time is 7/12. Now our calculator can handle all this for us. We're going to simply enter in this entire expression to figure out our answer to part B. How much would it cost to repay the whole loan? I want you to notice how I type this in. Notice I move the cursor to the exponent spot, and then I use the fraction template, the alpha y equals, to type in 7/12 as a power. So here the answer to part B. How much would it cost to repay the entire loan? $2,628. And this 8 is going to make the 88 cents go to 89 cents. So that's the answer to part B. How much would it cost to repay the whole loan? How much is the total amount that you're paying back? But now let's go about answering part A. Find the amount of interest you're paying. And remember, the interest is equal to the balance, the total that you're paying back, minus the principal, how much you borrowed. So that's going to be the $2,628.89 minus how much you borrowed, $2,500. So when we do that subtraction, here the interest is going to be $128.89. So that's our answer to part A, the interest that you pay, the extra that you pay. Finally, for part C, how much is the monthly payment? Well, you're going to figure out the total amount that you're paying. So in this case, the total amount is $2,628.89. And we're going to divide that by the number of payments you're making. Now, this question here says, find your monthly payment. So you're going to be making payments every month. Well, how many months is this loan for? This loan is for 7 months. So we're basically paying that money off over 7 payments, because their question is saying, how much is your monthly payment? So now take that $2,628.89 and divide that by the number of payments, which is 7. So every month for that loan, your monthly payment is going to be $375.56 because this 5 kicks the 55 cents up to 56 cents. So that means the first month you're paying $375.56, the second month you're paying $375.56, the third month, and you're going to be making 7 payments. So if I take that and multiply it by 7, that's going to give me the total amount that I borrowed. So this is our latest section. It's our business and finance section. It's going to be material. It's going to be topics. It's going to be math that you're going to be using for the rest of your life. Make sure you enclose your calculator pictures when you send in this assignment. Have a good day.